Welcome back, everybody. My name is Andrew, and this is Kite Army. So there is no argument that wireless battery-powered security cameras are here to stay. These things are so easy to install and operate. However, they're not without their limitations. For example, this Blink camera right here has batteries in the back, and you have to replace them every few months. This is the brand new Google Nest camera, and this thing's rechargeable, so you got to recharge it every few months. And I think a lot of people are going to find that to be a problem. Now, up until today, every brand had this problem. So I'm going to show you a camera that overcomes that, and it's right here. This is the brand new EUFY SoloCam S40, and guess what, guys? It has a solar panel on the top, meaning it's powered by the sun. So today we're going to take a deep dive into this camera and see how it works. Here we go. So here's the star of the show. This is the brand new EUFY SoloCam S40 solar powered camera floodlight. That's right, it even has a floodlight built into it. So this is a 2K camera. Now, to give you an idea of what a 2K resolution is, it's just a little above 1080p, which is kind of the standard for battery-powered cameras, and it's below 4K, significantly below 4K, but many battery-powered cameras aren't even talking about 4K yet. So it's got a pretty good resolution lens inside. Now, I also said it's got a floodlight. This is a 600 lumen floodlight, and that floodlight can be activated with a siren to deter anyone from stealing it. It also can be activated on motion, so it can light up the area if you just want to see where you're going. It's really convenient that that's built into this one single box, and probably explains the larger size of this camera. Now, as you know, this is solar powered, but it also has a battery built inside, so it can run during the night. During the day, it collects that solar power, and at night, it runs off the battery. Now, inside this box, there's also an 8 gig memory card, and that memory card means you do not need a subscription for this camera. That is one of the coolest things about this model. Now, this model can also do two-way audio. Again, it's got a spotlight with a siren feature built in. It's got AI, so it can detect the difference between a human and an animal, which is really cool. And of course, like many other cameras, you can set up zones. So this is a very good quality, feature-rich camera. Now, if you're wondering who EUFY is, they've been around for a while, but they make a lot of home consumer electronics. They make a lot of cameras, which I've already reviewed on this channel, and they sell these cameras at Costco and Amazon, so you don't have to be worried about this brand. So there's one thing I want to talk to you about really quickly, and that is how you select the best location to install this brand new EUFY camera. Now, they do suggest you place it at about 10 to 14 feet above ground level. That will give you the widest view with the best motion detection. Now, the other nice thing about that height is it might stop someone from thinking, hey, that looks easy to take, and I really like that solar-powered camera. Let me make it mine. Now, the other thing is you want to place it at a spot where people are walking this direction in relation to the camera, not straight at it, perpendicular to it. Again, that's to help the motion detection. Now, the last thing to consider is we know this is a solar-powered camera, so obviously it needs what, guys? It needs sun. So it needs about 2 hours of direct sunlight a day to keep those batteries charged. So keep those things in mind. So let me give you some really quick tips on how to best mount this camera. First off, it comes with this base right here, and what you're going to want to do is separate the bottom of the base from the top. This is the part that gets attached to the wall, and this is the part that connects to the camera. So next, grab your camera, and in the back there, there's this little thread, and thread that right into there just like that. Make sure it's, nice and snug. Now let's attach this to our wall. Now that you've got your base attached, connect the camera with the thread to the base that's fixed to the wall and tighten down that screw. As you tighten down the screw, you'll feel that ball joint locking, and if all's good, your camera should be nice and steady. You're gonna wanna check that it's firm. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go outside and record some footage with this EUFY camera. Maybe while I do that, you could consider hitting that subscribe button? Possibly, please? for the night test. Here it is. Kite Army, make sure you subscribe. So to control this camera, you need the EUFY security app. In that app, you can set the camera up, configure it to your network, do all those things. It's really easy and intuitive. Now, there are some very cool features that are unique to this camera. I want to talk to you about those real quickly. So one of the really cool features of this camera in the app is something called motion test mode. Let me turn that on right now. And what that will do is light up a red light on the camera if it's actually detecting motion. You can see as I move around, it's detecting my movement, which is so cool. So it gives you peace of mind that the camera's actually going to catch things happening in that range. You can see right down here, it's still blinking red. Some of these cameras require a little guesswork when it comes to motion detection. So I really like this feature. So the other thing I haven't talked to you about is not only this a security camera, it's actually also got a motion detection floodlight built into it. And in the app, you can actually change the intensity on those lights, and you can change the color temperature for those people who really want to geek out on this stuff. You can see, let me make it more yellow. That's supposedly more yellow, and let me make it more white, and let me raise the brightness. So you have a lot of options considering this is a solar-powered camera floodlight. All right, guys, it is time for the wrap-up. So overall, I am really impressed with this EUFY camera. I think it's a clever design to have the solar panel, the floodlight, and camera built into that one single box. Now, the floodlight is shockingly bright. Like, it's blinding. It's amazing that this is a battery-powered camera. So definitely the brightest I've ever seen. Now, the app for this camera is really easy. It's intuitive. No problems there at all. The video quality from this camera is 2K, so it's not the highest video quality you can possibly get, but considering this is so easy to install, it's wireless, it's battery solar powered, it's really cool. The 2K is good enough for most people. And lastly, we need to talk about cost. So this camera costs $199, and I can't tell you how cool it is that there's no subscription. So many other brands, they tease you in with a real cheap camera and then they slam you with a subscription. That's not the case here. So if you were to ask me what I do not like about these cameras, it's not a long list. The only thing I could possibly come up with is like the size of these cameras, but considering they have these super powerful floodlights built into them, it's not going to stop me from putting these things around my house. No way. Don't you hate it when you get to the end of a great video? But don't worry, because there's more great content right there. Let's go. We're doing this.